and welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. Tina, how you doing today?
I'm good, hanging in there. It's a week till Christmas, but I'm hanging in there. Actually, it's less than a week until Christmas.
It is less than. That is very true. And since we're going to be talking about Christmas, the good and the bad, so far, how is yours? Well, leading up to it.
Other than I haven't really done much for them, it's going okay. Work's been pretty busy. Like I said, the divorce is final, so that's making me start to look at other situations and getting the build out done in the house and stuff. So it's been pretty hectic, but I have to say I haven't been too bad. I miss my mom this time of year because she was definitely the Christmas person, and tomorrow is her birthday. So that makes me a little wah, but but nobody's going to listen to it anyway. So I just suck it up and keep going. So did some Christmas shopping today, got the tamales. All the tamales are finally done. Made quite a few baskets. There's a couple people I was going to give one to. Partying because I have a lot of friends whose birthdays in the month of December. So a lot of family, friends, different things going on. It's been nice. How's yours been?
Mine's slow as always because it's really all my family's out of state, so it's really just me and the boy. But my boy's birthday's 3 days before Christmas. So, but thankfully, he's a gamer and he does all kinds of crazy shit. So he was pretty much done in October and November. So nice. We usually just do dinner and then I'll get him a couple of things because I think he's going to visit mom for Christmas. So, it'll be chill for me.
So what do you do when you're by yourself?
Usually nothing. I just sit around watching TV, but now I have a dog. So there's things I have to take care of, like I can't just leave him behind. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll go on the road and visit people.
You're always welcome to come over and have tamales with us. I made a shit ton.
Well, I say that's what I've heard right before we went on.
Yeah.
So before we get too in deep, hit the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you check us out on all the podcasting
forums,
vehicles with Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and share. Give these to your friends and let them hear our nonsense.
There you
go.
So
let's chat Christmas.
Let's do it.
We kind of did this last year, and I think it was mostly the horrible stress involved in it. And we're going to hit on that because I think this year, mostly because it's the first year of freedom from COVID. I think this year you're going to see the freeways being very packed and the stores being, more packed because people are going to actually get together and do things. And probably the airports in the next 3 days are going to be insanely hellacious.
Yeah. I know I'm taking my ex to the airport again because he's going to be off to the East Coast. So there's definitely people traveling. That's for sure. I know every year I take them, it's insane to get into the airport.
I just think now it's because, I saw it with Thanksgiving. And I think a lot of the holidays this year were the first ones where people were starting to get out. Like they refuse to be locked up anymore. So now people are actually wanting to see family and going to do things. So, because when I went for Thanksgiving down south, usually I can make it there in an hour and something. It took about an hour and 40 minutes. So like there were more people on the freeway. People are open to having lots of people over. I did have a friend who had 30 people or was going to have 30 people over for Thanksgiving, but unfortunately got COVID. So I had to shut that down, but it's there. So I think Christmas this year, I mean, like I said, I don't have to buy a lot of gifts for people. So when I'm out, I'm seeing packed places. Like there's some places over where we live when me and my boy go to get dinner or something. The place happens to be in where there's a Walmart, a Kohl's, a Target, like all
busy
these
area.
And the parking slots are out of control.
Yeah.
And to the point where I was like, dude, do we really want to go over there? Because that traffic now goes into the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So where you might go and we can go get dinner in 15-minute wait, maybe 20. We went the other day and they were like, oh yeah, we can seat you in 45 minutes.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Like, are you serious? And she's like, oh yeah, like it's getting busy at night now. And I was like, oh yeah, it's getting busy because all these yahoos are out buying stuff for people, which is good. I mean, my work is kind of weird because I'm in wholesale. So it was busier last week. We've had traffic this week, but not as much because I think a lot of people in my business kind of, I don't want to say slow down, but they start celebrating holidays as well. So like they're going out of town for holiday, or people are there. We have one customer shut down his whole business.
Nice.
Until the end of the year. Yeah, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of big companies that do that, where generally around Christmas Day or the celebrated day of Christmas, like for me, it's Monday. Some people just close for the rest of the year. So they give everyone a week off. Big companies do.
Yeah, yeah.
So
this is my
kind of good.
Busiest time for me. I had 3 days last week that were 12-hour days. And I got to tell you, my ass is not used to that anymore. I was tired, and they were in a row. So I just, one after another, just put my head to the grindstone and went. But I was grateful because they were good, good work days. That's how I used to be when I was younger. The days were just packed. Youngin'? Yeah. My hands kind of don't take it as well as they used to, though.
That's the other thing. I'm sure the girl who cuts my hair, who's out towards you, she said the same thing. Like she said, leading up to Thanksgiving, she was out of control busy. Mm-hmm. And then Christmas is same thing. Everyone's getting their hair done to go to the Christmas party or to the family thing. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, holy crap. And she said the same thing. She goes, I'm busy up until the day before Christmas Eve. And she's doing the same thing. She's slamming 12-hour days, doing dye jobs and doing all this stuff. And it's funny because she'll usually fit me in if I really need a haircut, because it takes her like 12 minutes to cut my hair. She's like, and she knows how to, she's done it for like the last year and a half or so. So she just goes, okay, you're all done. Like she'll fit me in before her real customers. So I think that those are the good things that are happening these days. People are doing things.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the cost of things right now has got to be hellacious on people. Presents, I'm sure this year with inflation being so high and crazy that it's probably people are still spending. I mean, obviously, if you look at the places, but I bet you this year we're gonna hear that there was a lot of credit used this year.
Maybe
because there was. I mean, there is every year. Let's not get crazy about it, because obviously this country works off of credit. But I know that the couple of COVID ones, COVID Christmases, they weren't as bad. So yeah, I know I'm tired. I worked.
Yeah, when COVID was, nobody was shopping really, so everything was online. And that was kind of nice because you could still go into the stores and there wasn't the problems that there are this year with parking and not having things on the shelf. I've noticed that a lot. So I'm kind of
and that's that
surprised.
balance. I think that's with obviously how things are in the world. Like there's still, where I work, we still have issues getting stuff. It's just a fact. There's, because of chipsets, things being made, there's a lack there of things. But people are shopping. So I think it'll be interesting to see where that goes from the standpoint of how the world is doing, because we won't know until sometime in January if Christmas was a good for retailers.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's funny because my kid was looking for a job and he couldn't get one because all the holiday people had already been hired. So
he still hasn't found a job, huh? Oh,
yeah. It's okay though. There's good and bad with that as well for me.
Right.
You know, since I still do have a puppy that he watches him and that kind of thing, and he helps me around the house. So there's good with that. There's also bad with it, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah. It's a whole other show. Why didn't you think of it? That's funny. No, I remember when I was younger, my dad was like, you need to get a job. And I just went out in one day and got one. So I know that it's a little bit different than when we were younger, because kids are struggling to get one, but I just don't see it. I think I could still turn around and get a job right now. You know, it's just different people, different times. Different
mindset, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that our parents stressed as much during the holiday season as we do?
Yes, for sure. I know mine
we
did.
just didn't see it.
Well, I did, because I was kind of a nosy kid, so I kind of knew what was going on everywhere in the house. But I know that Mom stressed because my grandmother and my aunt were a pain in the ass. I know she stressed because she had to buy gifts for a bunch of people. Then she wanted to see her mom, but her mom worked all the time, so we had to go to her mom's work. That stressed her out. And then she didn't like hearing whatever my grandmother was going to say that was negative towards her about her parenting style or what my mom was wearing. I mean, it could have been anything. So it seemed like to me every holiday, my mom would fight with my dad before we got there. And it would be like this big ordeal and just make us not want to go anywhere. And then we'd have to go and be happy. So, and it was definitely because of the way, you know, the opinions in the family and how they were. And I get it, because now that I'm the adult and people like want to say something about me, I'm like, feel free to take over, you know? But yeah, I think they did. I think they totally struggled just the same, if not more, because I don't think I struggled all that bad, to be honest with you.
When I was married, we didn't struggle much because having two incomes was obviously much easier.
Yeah.
I know my dad probably stressed because he was a single dad and, you know, it was hard for him to get us stuff. So, you know, whenever he could work overtime or that kind of thing, I know he did, but he never showed it, or at least not that maybe I just wasn't keen to it. But I think these days it's got to be rough for people because the expectation for what you want is much bigger. I think, you know, when I was a kid, it was like we wanted G.I. Joes, or like we didn't want huge things. Like even when the Nintendo came out, I was like, oh, I'd love to have a Nintendo. Thankfully, my best friend got one, so we could just play over there.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting one, but a long time later.
I remember that same sort of situation. We just went over to the house where there was one. We didn't, you know, it wasn't a big deal either way. But I remember wanting a Cabbage Patch doll. And I was too old for dolls, but I just thought it would be cute to sit on my bed. I thought it was a cutesy thing. So my mom went out to the stores to try to find one. And there was a big fight that that broke out, and the lady that had one in her hand, she was like, I can't even be a part of this. I don't want this doll. Do you want it? And my mom was like, hell yeah, give me the doll. So she lucked out and was able to get one. But I remember some pretty knockdown, drag out fights. I don't know that happens anymore. I don't watch the news. I haven't seen anything, but there was some stress there for sure.
I'm sure it still happens like that. I was at a Walmart with a friend of ours, actually, our friend from high school. Me and her went to a Walmart one morning during the Christmas thing, and it was one that was 24 hours a day up where she lives. So we walked in, and it was probably I want to say 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And why we were up, I don't even remember.
Don't ask.
But yeah. But my son wanted a video game. So I walked in, I asked him I would walk up to the guy, and they had like tons of pallets that were still wrapped. Mm-hmm. But at a 24-hour Walmart, they won't open up everything until the sale starts, which is at 5 a.m. So all these pallets were out, and I walk in, and I was like, oh, look, I'm looking for this Call of Duty game. And the guy goes, oh yeah, I have one right here. And he just hands it to me. I was like, oh, cool. Thanks. So it was like $4.50, and me and her were standing there, and all these people start walking out with razor blades and everything, and they're going to start cutting everything open. And I look over at her and I go, oh, do you want to watch this? I go, it's got to be crazy. Cause I'd never been, cause I worked in retail for so many years. I don't go out on Black Friday ever.
Yeah, me neither.
So
learn my lesson.
This was Black Friday. And I remember watching this chaos. It was absurd. There was like, I don't know, it was like a $25 DVD player. And there must have been, there's probably 50 or 60 on a pallet. And as soon as he cut it, and the guy says, and he took the plastic wrap off, it looked like a mosh pit. It was just people fighting. I mean, I watched ladies elbowing each other in the face over a $25 DVD player.
That's
and I
insane.
remember after we watched it, me and her kind of walked up to the counter. I already had what I needed. There was like so many people there to check people out. Mm-hmm. I walked right up. I handed it to the dude, and he was like, "Oh, boop," and I paid for him, and we walked out. But I remember talking. Yeah, but I remember talking to her afterwards and just going, "People do this all the time." So the stress of that kind of thing, I don't put myself in that because I worked in retail for so long. Mm-hmm. But people love that, like love to get in dirty and try to find these crazy deals. And I don't understand it. Maybe, like I said, because I did it for so long. I worked in retail for 11 years. So for me, it's still crazy. And I tell people I never go out, because I had someone asking me this year. They're like, "Oh, you're going to go shopping?" I'm like, "Nah, I haven't gone shopping." And let's see. I've worked here 3, I worked there 6, I worked there 11. So 22 years, I haven't gone out on a Black Friday.
Damn.
Oh no, actually it's less than that, because I went out with her. So that was probably, so it's been at least probably at 15 years, probably, give or take.
Okay.
Because I just refused. I didn't need that kind of stress. And that's what it is to me. It was fun to watch from far, but if I really had to try to find something or be in that chaos, I would lose it. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't like being in that. I like to, because of my work schedule, I could go first thing in the morning. I could go lunchtime. I could go after, whatever. I have a schedule that's pretty flexible. So I've been trying to just piece it together, and not very well, because I didn't want to do it, to be honest with you. The kids, all they want now is money, and I may get it for them. And then I make a big ball of like stocking stuffers with saran wrap and foil and a bunch of tape, and we work at it probably about a half hour to get the ball completely unwrapped with all the gifts and gift cards and everything I put in it. And so they asked for that this year, which I was like, you realize that was just stocking stuffers, but they had so much fun with us that that's what they wanted again. So I'm like, I'm getting out easy this year. That's perfect with me. Perfect.
Yeah, I think as your kids get older, obviously money is the easiest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know my ex like really hates giving my son money because it's kind of it's the best way of putting it. It's like so unpersonal.
It is. It is.
So,
and I always ask the kids, do you want stuff? Do you need clothes or stuff, shoes, whatever the hell you want? Or do you want an experience? Well, now every year it's like, yeah, I want an experience. Well, what kind of experience? I don't know. I'm like, okay, you want to go see a Billie Eilish concert? Because my niece is really into that. You know what she said? She goes, I already saw her. I was like, you little bitch. All right.
oh,
So
well then.
now, guess what? I'm not getting it for you. And my brother's like, are you kidding? You said no to that? Like, she's your favorite. I would have gone 20 times. And then when she said yes, the tickets were like triple.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, we're not going now because you don't know how to act. Like, love you, but not that much. You know, she just laughed and, you know, she'll know for next time. And she will not forget that either. She'll make sure she gets whatever she needs next year out of me. I'm sure of it because she's pretty smart like that. But yeah, it was funny. But I'll end up doing something with both of them anyway. Even if I give them money, what I say is, all right, here's money for Christmas. But if you want to go shopping with me, we'll do lunch too. So they always work me. It's all right.
Yeah. They find a way.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Like for me, since it's just me and my boy really here, you know, we do things during the year.
Yeah.
So like because we go to concerts. So I balance that out as being Christmas and birthday and just kind of everything. It's like, look, because like we went to, well, let's see. We just went to a concert a couple weeks ago. And then in March, in May, we went back-to-back concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and saw Bring Me the Horizon and Slipknot the next night. And yes, I bought those tickets way in advance. And so money is kind of a weird thing with that. It's like I had money at the time, so I bought tickets. That's kind of how I kind of put things. So for me, those are the things that your niece will probably end up going, oh yeah. Like your brother said, you know, I'd go see him 100 times because that's what we did. If the band comes to town, we go. And that's what me and my kid do. Mm-hmm. If a band we like comes to town, we go see him. That's just what we do. Because if we enjoy him, we'll keep going back no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly. So, she'll get it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of the whole, the thing about Christmas. Those are the good things that you can, you might get something for Christmas that doesn't have a payoff until next year because it's a concert or it's we're going to go to Disneyland in March, you know, whatever the plan is out. Sometimes I think that those are the things too that I like. I haven't been to Disneyland during Christmas for probably 3 years. No, maybe 3 years. I think 3 years I went with a friend of mine. But those are also like cool kind of moments that if you can do it, although Disneyland these days is outrageously expensive.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But those are also kind of cool things, I think, that are kind of the goods that if you can go, because it's definitely an experience if you live on the West Coast or on the East Coast, if you can go to either one.
Well, I've been saying that I wanted to go to Knott's Berry Farm. I haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm since I was like 10 years old. So she's like, I'll go with you and do that. Now my nephew was like, nah, that's for teenagers. Like, okay, what are you? That's what I said to him. I'm like, oh, where are we at with this? But my niece was like, yeah, Thea, let's go. So that I think will end up being her gift. I'm not sure, but I just like that she still wants to spend time with me. Like she even went out with me the other night to my friend's house and we made tamales and she helped out. It was kind of cool. But, I hope that doesn't stop. I don't know if it's going to, but she just likes to hang out with me. So I let her as much as possible. And I think that Knott's Berry Farm will be it'll be fun for us. She loved going to not Disneyland, Magic Mountain with me. So
I think those are the quality times though of, that if you can make time for Christmas and do things together, I think it's a must. Mm-hmm. Mostly as we get older.
Yep. I agree because they so need the interaction. Like kids are just basically raising themselves, and the stuff they know about that I've heard from my niece and nephew, I was like, holy crap. Like that doesn't even surprise you. It would surprise me if I was your age, but they're like, come on, they like, the internet's here, right? And I'm like, oh, I guess you're right.
Yeah, because they just live in a different time.
Totally different time.
Totally. Well, and look at what about the magic of Christmas, though?
Mm-hmm. There isn't any because all they want is cash.
Well, I mean, maybe for smaller kids. I see it with some of my friends who have younger kids or people that I know who have younger kids. There's still something special there. And I think, I hope that doesn't get lost on society, because I know that, it's how can I say it? It's kind of a lost art. I think the Santa coming is, at least how I see things, is not so prevalent anymore. Mm-hmm. How it was like when we were kids, it was great. Like I couldn't wait for Santa to come.
But are we saying that just because we were little, or because it seems like every generation says it was so much better when I was younger? Well, yeah, because you were living it, not having to be the adult. So is that what it is, or
no? It was great when my kid was young.
Right.
I loved it. I thought it was. When he grew out of that is when things were like, oh man,
yeah.
And my one grandchild is out of state, so I had to do that kind of stuff over Facebook or FaceTime. So that's kind of the cool thing that, it's still alive, obviously, because I think that there's something to that. But I hope that that's something that continues to drive people, because the magic of Christmas is still what makes it fun, and makes the stress of Christmas bearable.
I took my cousins out. We were out one night and looking for something to do. We just hadn't been out in a while, and we're trying to figure out, like, where do we go? What do we do? We just decided to go looking at Christmas lights. So we went to Candy Cane Lane, and Candy Cane Lane isn't even what it used to be. And I thought you had to sign something when you moved in that you would keep up with those traditions for Candy Cane Lane, but it's probably a fourth of what it once was.
Really?
Yeah.
There's one down the street from my house.
Okay.
A similar thing of that, where it's like the street. I've never been, because just driving by the street you have to turn on is like 40 cars deep. It's just insane. Matter of fact, they even have a flashboard from the city that says next right Christmas lights. It was bonkers. I was like, what the hell? So that's kind of cool that people are still trying to keep up with these traditions. There's a lot, I don't know about over by you, but there's a lot of houses here with lights on them. A lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's still pretty big.
At one point, I don't remember there being many lights on the street within a couple blocks of each other. This year, I was seeing quite a few just on our block, and I was like, oh, right on. They're getting back into it. I don't know. We don't put Christmas lights up. My dad, since my mom passed, we don't do any decorations. As a matter of fact, my Christmas decorations are at my ex's house. And when I went over to the house, because I cooked tamales over there, just because the kitchen's so much bigger and he let me, he had all my decorations out, not all of them, but quite a few. And it was kind of funny. I was like, I'm glad somebody's using them because I wouldn't have put anything up. So that it was still kind of, it's, that whole situation with him, we get along really well. It's just kind of, it's so different than what I hear when people get divorced. So it was it's every time I see something, I'm like, that's kind of cool, so.
That I will say that that's something I kind of miss. I mean, obviously being single for a while, I miss that having someone to share Christmas with. I think that's kind of a bummer.
I've been worried about that this year because it'll be a year by myself. And I don't know, Christmas doesn't bother me so much because I'm with family. It's after everybody goes home. It's kind of a shitty feeling.
Yeah, it's the wear down of after everything's happened. You kind of just got to go, oh, okay. And for me, like, I've been single a while. So for me, it's, I usually have, people in my life that I can talk to on Christmas. And that's kind of what kind of saves things for me, that I can, I touch base with some people out there, but even that's limited. So I think that's kind of the bummer of Christmas, of being single. That I would say that that's a bad part of Christmas, that if you're not with someone to celebrate, that can be kind of a drag.
Yeah, I get that. I think I'm fortunate because I do have friends and we do make sure we stay into contact, or I can just run over to my friend's house and say, I'm just hanging out with you. And she wouldn't say anything. So I'm fortunate for that, but it's still like the after Christmas, and we normally finish kind of early. So it's that after Christmas, like wind down. I'm just like, crap. I'm going to go home and go to bed and start tomorrow, because tomorrow will feel so much better. I don't know what the difference is between Christmas night and the day after Christmas morning, but being depressed is over after that.
I just think it's the nonsense of like your mind gets involved in thinking of like, oh, this is, this is that, or seeing couples together, or, obviously with social media, it's a whole other thing because you see all these people celebrating. Like for me, I do my best to stay away from all that shit come holidays. If I'm not doing something, I try to stay away from seeing what other people are doing.
Oh, really?
Because I just find it to be more of a handcuff. It just handcuffs you to the feelings that you're having.
I get that.
So that's what I try to do. Or I'll go see somebody, or, watch something on TV that has nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah. When Christmas is over, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to taste it. Like, I just want it to be over, so I get you on that. Yeah.
Well, you start looking towards the next shitty holiday in New Year's Eve, because like, to me, that New Year's Eve is worse than Christmas for couples.
Yeah.
Like if you're alone, New Year's Eve is the worst. So I think it's that the holiday, the holiday stinger of like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, whether you're alone or not doing well in something, or you're in a bad relationship, whatever it is, you either put on the mask of showing everyone that you're okay, or you're the one who's single and you're just like, man, it's another fucking year of this shit. So I get it. I try to see the good in everything. I try my bestest, but it gets hard around those kind of things where you have to see, and I think the media doesn't help. Like all the Christmas movies are on Netflix and they're all generally rom-coms, so that like things are obviously thrown in your face for whatever reason. But I just do my best to go to like the old standbys, like the Rudolph cartoon or Frosty the Snowman.
Or you could do something completely different, like just
No, I know. But if I'm going to do Christmas,
yeah,
I do the things like the Peanuts Christmas, things that remind me of my childhood more than anything.
I get that.
Because I think because I like that part of remembering Christmas, and I'm lucky both my parents are still with me, so I can give them FaceTime and we chit chat for a little while, and they catch up. But I think those are the things that can be a super downer and a super good thing about Christmas. There's such positives about Christmas. I mean, it is about giving, and it's about making sure people are doing okay or doing whatever is in their lives that's good.
Yeah.
So, and look, who doesn't like giving gifts? I mean, or receiving. You can be on either side of that. I don't think that there's either or. I'm not a good gift receiver. I'm like really bad at it. Oh no, I'm really horrible.
What do you mean by
that? Like I don't like getting gifts. I would prefer people not to get them for me.
You just got to say thank you and enjoy it, not even stress about it.
I'm not good at that. But I like giving gifts. So the people who are around me, who are close to me, they get good stuff. But I'm usually like, nah, it's okay. You don't have to give me anything. Or I'll tell people, no, don't give me anything.
You're crazy. I just don't say. I don't even worry about it or say anything. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. For me, it's no big deal.
Right. No, I get you.
I tell people, if you really want to do something that I would want, spend some time with me. Let's go do something. And it's the same thing with the kids. Do you want an event? Do you want something to do, or do you want stuff? You could have whatever you want. But I will always prefer, let's go somewhere. Let's do something together. Let's spend some time.
I'd prefer that as well.
Yeah. Because I mean,
just because I think time's priceless.
Not only that, but those memories stay with you way longer than whatever stuff they could buy you does. And to me, that's important. And you're right, the memories. Like I'm losing people. It seems like lately, I lost another person who was very near and dear to me. 60 years old, had a heart attack and died. And I spent the afternoon with him one day. After work on a Friday, we went out to the safari room, which is like an old people place to eat. I think I shouldn't say that because I'll have somebody say something. But anyway, we went there and we had drinks that turned into dinner, and we made fun of everybody we could think of, and which is very typical for how we were anyway together. Laughed and joked and just had a good time, and then he died. Like, he's gone. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, like, that's the last time I'm ever going to do this with him. But thank God we did it a month ago. It wasn't like, the last time I saw him was 4 years ago. No, it was just a month ago after work. And I'm so grateful because I remember everything that he said. I remember what we laughed about. I remembered, the stuff we talked about that was, the shop talk. Man, was I fortunate to have that time with him. But again, I make the time to spend with people too. And I just got to tell people, if you really want to have a life, spend time with people that you love, or people that are close to you, or people that you admire. Like, you really got to do that in order for you to really appreciate what it is you get at Christmas. You have to have really good, strong, positive things happen in your life so that you can appreciate the good. Because the bad seems like it rolls around a lot, But the good times.
You have to let bygones be bygones as well. So if you have heat with people, or you haven't talked with somebody for a long time, and don't have any problems with them, you just haven't talked to them in a while, every blue moon you gotta say, hey, what's going on? Because you do never know. And I've had several friends that's happened to with me, where, young people, and you think they're going to be with you forever, and you wake up and they're gone. So, and and now that we are older, there's definitely more reason to do that, because we're getting to a place where we're going to start losing more people a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
So make Christmas memories. I think that's important.
Or just memories in general. Spend time.
Yeah, but I mean, I think since we're talking about the holidays, it's something that you should definitely do. Reach out to people for the holidays, because you are going to make a small memory, whether it's calling somebody and saying, "Hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time. What's going on?"
Yeah,
just to touch base, because we don't know. Life's not guaranteed, and you don't know who won't be here next Christmas.
It's true.
So I think that it's a very important thing to do during this time of the year is, you're right. For all this stressful shit that happens during this time period where you're out and about with crazy people and everything's, lines are long and the thing that the person wants isn't in stock and you can't get it and you don't know what else to get. And all these crazy stressful things are happening. Your grandkids are running wild all over the house and you're stressed out about it, but they're happy because Santa's coming. Step back for a second and go, you know what, maybe it's not that bad. And life, at least for a weekend or two, you can sit back and let people be happy before you have to get back to the reality of the world. So,
and I think we should always be trying to be happy. Like, life is stressful, and being, like you said, single, it gets a little bit lonely and stuff. But I think, man, at least I'm not in a place where there's nobody, there's no way to be around anybody. There's nothing that I could do to fix anything. I just have to sit here and be miserable. Like, you and I didn't have to do that. When it was time to go, we left. And because of that, we could paint whatever picture we want to. And that part, I'm saying to myself, you know what, I'm going to keep telling myself that, because I do create a good life for myself and I do things that are fun. And if I just keep that momentum, everything will be great. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to just be happy with what is right now, because it's been so crazy. Like, life has been really crazy, and it could just be okay right now, even if it is a little lonely, even if there is a problem, even if, whatever it is. I just try to think, it could be worse. We could be in a worse place any moment. And just going to be grateful I'm where I'm at right now.
Yep. Upright, breathing, and employed.
Barely employed, but yes, employed.
Yeah, well,
but I got to tell you, Christmas time has been really good to me. So, and so have my clients. I'm so grateful for that, because a couple of years ago, things were so different, different.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I have somewhat health and my kids healthy and doing okay and getting by. And you know what? Who knows where we'll be next Christmas?
Yeah.
Because, you never, ever know what's going to happen in life. But I'm going to do my best to spend this one, whether I'll probably see him Christmas Day. So he's going to go away for a couple of days. So yeah, I think all in all, I'm going to do my best to kind of keep my chin up and celebrate the Christmas spirit with all my friends via FaceTime and whatever else it's going to be, and try to look at the better part of what the holiday is about.
And you are always welcome where I am. So,
well, you know what? Maybe I'll just I'll pack up my mutt and take a road trip to see everybody.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. It'll be at the house here. We will make room. And I made more than enough food for the rest of our lives. So feel free to just come on over. It doesn't, for me, it's like, it's not hard. Just say, hey, I'm on my way. I'm like, cool. We got you.
Nice.
So anytime.
Well, any last words for everybody out there for our Christmas holiday show?
Just enjoy where you're at. Enjoy what's going on. Enjoy the family or friends or whomever it is that you spend time with, and try to not be so hard on yourself, because there'll be plenty of time next year for you to let down yourself and just I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But it doesn't need to be like that. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I hate Christmas. I've always hated Christmas. I have a shitty disposition towards it to begin with. But this year I'm like, I'm just not gonna. I made tamales. We're good. I'll shop for what I need to shop for, and the rest I'm gonna let myself off the hook for. I'm gonna hopefully get over that day, and then the next day just start planning something, because it's just life is too short not to. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And make sure to check out our show every Wednesday on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio, and everywhere you can hear podcasts. Also check out our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And it's Don't Get This Twisted on all of them. And share this, please. Send this to people for your Christmas holiday. Let them catch up on the 70 episodes that we have.
That's so crazy.
And no last words for me. You kind of said it good. Just be good to each other, and have a Merry Christmas, Miss Tina.
You too. And hopefully I'll see you. We'll hang out.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to get Chi-Chi soon anyway.
The pizza, that is.
Whatever. Whatever you want to get. I need to get some Chi-Chi, so we're going to get that here
anytime.
Shortly.
I'm always ready.
Awesome. And this is Opinion Show, so don't get it twisted. Keep coming back, and we'll have a show right before the new year. Until next Wednesday, you guys have a good time and have a Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you later, Tina.
Have a good one.
All right.